Today is Thanksgiving. And I give thanks. I'm hearing this loud commotion, thunder from the kitchen. I just had to get out of there. Papa Robert threw a pot across the dang thing. Bang, clang, dang. He knew what he was doing when he did it. Just don't care. I'm already disgruntled. I don't have a family. I don't find it anything worth a fuck to just act a fool, throw my world about. Anger is so toxic. Been word bombing new shores of yawns from some gut feeling about how feeling, just feeling. Not angry, not whatever, sort of neutral. But I gotta get away from myself throwing fits. Being disgruntled doesn't need you to help it. I do believe the way of the Tao to reduce something every day as well as increase. And that's what I want to reduce. Welcome to the journey, my friends. I am the So Torn Man. So what we've got here is the solar disk, which does not exist. So it's got to go with the anger. The sun isn't the center. It is the lead. We are not going around the sun's equator. We're being drugged, spiraling around behind the sun in his wake. My friends, welcome to the electric universe. Going within the fallacy. This is it right here. None of this exists. We live in an electric universe. Those are the lies. Let's get to the bottom of it. This is the realm of King Henry VIII. Those explosions do not exist. Those little atomics, spheres, they least of all exist. Those are waves and or particles, depending on your observating them. I said observating them, you heard that? I'm your guide here. So what would really be happening inside of the sun? Same thing is happening inside of each and every one of you. Well, let's get to it.
The sun was considered a supernatural phenomenon and worshipped as a god in a number of ancient civilizations. In Egypt, it was worshipped as Ammon, in Mesopotamia as Samas, and
I'm sorry. I apologize.
the Greek philosopher Anaxagoras offered the first scientific explanation in the 5th century BC. In his view, the sun was a glowing, hot iron sphere. This unusual idea was considered blasphemous, and he was imprisoned for his views.
How dare he?
After constructing his telescope, Galileo Galilei also studied the sun and discovered sunspots. Later, Isaac Newton used a prism to split white light from the sun into its components.
That's where Pink Floyd starts
Still
playing.
later, William Herschel used this method when he discovered infrared radiation around 1800. In his experiments in the 19th century, Joseph von Fraunhofer was the first to observe absorption lines in the solar spectrum, from which the chemical composition of the atmosphere could be determined. Hans Bethe developed the theory of nuclear fusion in 1939, which explains how energy is generated inside the sun.
Oh no.
The first space probes sent to observe the sun were NASA's Pioneer probes in 1959 and 1968. Orbiting the sun at a distance equal to the Earth's, they thoroughly examined solar wind and explored the sun's magnetic field. The U.S. West German space probe Helios, launched in 1974, conducted research from within
It's a turtle
Mercury's
looking at me
orbit.
over there. Bye, turtle.
The sun's X-ray radiation was examined by a space telescope from the Skylab space
Clearly
station.
mocking you, not me.
After escaping the planet's orbital plane, the Ulysses space probe studied the sun, providing a great deal of new information about its polar regions.
And what?
SOHO is one of the most important probes to research the sun,
It's an II.
always positioned between the sun and the Earth.
Another
It
II.
has been taking pictures of the sun since 1995 in both the visible and ultraviolet ranges. Recently, several new probes have been examining our star,
They probed
which
you
is very
people too.
important, as solar activity has a profound influence on our weather.
I'm a probed. You're a
Utilizing
probe.
the energy of sunlight is gradually becoming more widespread. It is
We're all
used
a
for
probe.
producing electricity by solar panels and solar power stations, and for producing heat by solar collectors. The sun is an average star, a yellow dwarf. At 4.6 billion years old, it is now roughly halfway through its lifespan of about 12 billion years.
Midlife crisis
It is
time.
composed of nearly 3/4 hydrogen, which is converted into helium by nuclear fusion in the sun's core,
I've never seen any of that going on.
high-energy photons.
High energy. I believe
When
that.
its fuel supply is exhausted, it will shrink, and its core will heat up sufficiently for the helium to convert into carbon.
That's also probably
This
bullshit.
process will result in even greater energy production. Therefore, the star will expand to several hundred times its current size, so the Earth will probably be swallowed up.
Let's hope
However,
so.
the sun's surface will be less hot, and it will become a red giant.
We'll be living there
This
by then.
phase will not last long. When the fusion stops, the sun's internal pressure will decrease, and it will collapse due to its own gravity. It will then become an
Black hole
Earth-sized, extremely dense white dwarf, and
No?
will cool
I'm
down
sorry.
after billions of years. The sun is not made up of solid material.
That is the false
It
trinity.
consists of plasma. This is why belts of different latitudes rotate at different rates. Its equatorial areas rotate every 25 days, while polar areas only rotate every 32 days. Its atmosphere is layered, made up of the photosphere, chromosphere, and corona, and it gradually merges into the interplanetary medium. The corona becomes visible during solar eclipses.
Hijacked.
98.87% of the mass of the solar system is concentrated in its central star. The sun has an enormous mass, so it has very strong gravity, which holds the solar system together and governs the movement of all the planets and smaller objects in it. The sun emits a large amount of energy, mainly in the form of ultraviolet,
Saturn
visible,
man.
and infrared radiation. But there is also a small amount of other types of radiation, like gamma rays, X-rays, and radio waves. Elementary particles,
Saturn
namely
man.
photons and electrons, are also ejected from the sun. These make up the solar wind. The core of the sun has an estimated temperature
Sunspot
14 to 15
driven by
million degrees
greed
Celsius.
and
A pressure
power.
of 3 times 10
Might
to the
like
negative 12
yellow
atmospheres,
and
and a
purple
density of 155
flowers as a
grams per cubic
gift.
centimeter. The core extends from the center to about 1/4 of the solar radius,
Southern
and
man
acts as a nuclear reactor, where
ripped
energy is released in the form of high-energy
into.
photons,
What is
gamma rays,
this
and
that
X-rays,
has
during the fusion
happened
of
to
light lines into
you?
heavier ones.
One half
The fusion
on the
process involves
fence,
the fusion of
none
the
on
nuclei of deuterium
floor.
and tritium, both
This is
isotopes of
why I
hydrogen.
make this
Deuterium
video
nuclei consist of 1
for.
proton and 1 neutron, while tritium nuclei consist of 2 protons and 2 neutrons. The reaction produces a helium nucleus consisting of 2 protons and 2 neutrons.
Those are lies.
The reaction releases one new.
With all due respect, we live in an electric universe, so all this fancy bullshit here. If we ride the fence, so torn men, let us put ourselves back together again. We must not ride the fence here on this, because all of it never exists. Hope you like my presentation. Please like and subscribe. We will be continuing our conquest against fallacies, where in which they're most likely solved, and we can go forward with our lives by getting off the fence. I'm looking for a fucking partner. I love it.